It's oh, Jesus, it's a video. Yes.
Hey you, when you finish a drawing, does it end up looking like a messed up baby? If so, you, my friend, are in luck. This video, suggested by subscriber Amor Loves, will hopefully help your art look more pleasing to the eye. But how, Ollie, you may ask? How am I going to draw like the wonderful art god that you are? Well, I'm going to go over how I go through my art process, so hopefully you can take little tidbits from it and put it into your art process, if that makes sense. If not, then don't worry. It's okay. I'll explain. Hello. The whole intro thing was that long because if and when you guys ask me for some new tutorials, I'm planning on making a series, and then I'm gonna make that series into a playlist, so it'll be, easier to access stuff and look for like what you want. But so far the only requests that I've gotten for tutorials are for eyes and for hair. So we're gonna go ahead and do that today. I apologize for the lack of a better setup. Okay. So, eyes. The base part of an eye is the ball. All eyes are just little round dudes, right? Okay. Let me clean that up. That looks bad. Alright, so we have a sphere. Now, these spheres have little tear ducts. This is the part that blends into the eyelid. It's that little pink part on your inner eye. But here, we have an eyeball. Look, friendly little guy. Eyeballs are in your face. They don't look like this normally unless you chopped off some of these eyelids. Speaking of eyelids, they're kind of like these little tortillas, right? So imagine you have a sphere and you're wrapping a slab of Play-Doh over the sphere. And it has a nice soft edge to it, like that. The eyelids are the slabs of Play-Doh. They kind of go over it like that. And depending on the expression that your portrait has, the eyelids are going to either widen or narrow, depending on the emotion that you're trying to convey with the drawing. So here's your basic eyeball. It doesn't have an iris or pupil right now because we will get to that in a second. Right now, we're just looking at pure eyeball. And these little Play-Doh folds, they're like wrinkles. They're wrinkles in clothes. They kind of get smushed. You just kind of smush them over the dome. Like I said, Play-Doh, very smushable. That's just how it is. So when the Play-Doh goes up, like how it's folded right now, the more up you go, the more of a wrinkle or a crease you're going to get. So right now, this would be like a neutral kind of blank stare kind of expression because the eyelids aren't super wide in this space, and they're not super squinty either. Hopefully that makes sense. Once again, keep the whole Play-Doh thing in mind. You're just smushing a slab of Play-Doh over a sphere. Got it? Cool. Great. I'll shut up about the Play-Doh now. Now we're going to focus on the iris part, which is like if you look at an eyeball, it's the thing on your eye that's like colored. It's the little part outside of the pupil. The pupil is this little black part. I'm sorry if you already know that and I'm talking to you like a baby. But them's the things. That's just how it is, baby. C'est la vie. Okay. So, the worst comparison I've ever heard to an iris is that it's like a lampshade. How do you expect me to know the similarity between a lampshade and a freaking, like, hole in your eye? It's stupid. I don't think of it as a lampshade. The two fundamental things to remember when you're drawing and shading an iris is the highlight. Around the highlight, it's going to be the darkest. I know, crazy. Highlight? What? It's a highlight. It should be light around it, and then the major bright part is there. No! You have it all wrong. You silly little baby. You thought. No. The highlights are going to be reflected onto the other side of it. It as in the iris, you know. So, and the highlights are like these little weird, like, liney guys. I'll probably put up some examples. So editor me can do that while I'm drawing the highlights. Usually, if you're using color, the highlights are a bit of a brighter and more saturated color than the iris. Just keep it real simple and make sure that your colors don't look like barf, because nobody wants to look like barf unless you want it to look like barf, and then do whatever you want. It's art. It's your thing to do. Who am I to tell you what to do? Anyway, and pupils. Pupils are probably the easiest thing to do with eyes, because they're just the little dot. There you have an eye. I'm not finished explaining yet, though. I'm not letting you off that easy. Pupils aren't usually black. They're not black. They're more of like a rich, really dark brown or bluish, purpley-ish color. If you use just like straight black in your art, don't do that. It's boring. It's not... Looking at art is like eating. If you use like just plain black, you're starving people. You're starving me, and I am very sad about it. Don't use normal black. Use what I like to call a rich black. A rich black is like, think of crimson, but make it as dark as you can go without it being just normal black again. Think like a midnight blue color. But once again, dark as you can go without making it normal black. That's what I mean. Yeah, it's hard to understand, but I can put up some examples. Put up a little comparison thingy right here, editor me. Good, great, fantastic. Okay. We are done talking about the shading stuff that you have to do with your inner squishy things. Inner squishy things? What am I talking about? I'm talking about your eyeballs. Silly goose. Okay. Bam! So, now we know about eyeballs. Give me virtual high five. Thank you. Okay. We have eyes now. Wow, we have a beautiful eyeball. And now we are going to do one of the things that I hate most with drawing eyes. Eyelashes. Oh my god. I hate eyelashes. Some people are like, oh my god, no, they're so simple. You just draw little lines. No. The little lines, they have to be like, they have to look like hair in order to like convince people that they're hair. like, it depends on your art style, but, like, since mine is, like, kind of headed towards realism, pretend this is a good eyeball that I just drew. Wow, yummy. So good and perfect. Those are the eyelids. This is the tear duct. I'm so bad at drawing with my sketchbook like this. But, okay, you can't just do, like... You can't do that. You can't do... Because that looks weird. Stupid. God. They could... Come on, biology. You could have made it easier for me to draw you. But yeah. So my solution is just screw it. Whatever. You can do what you want to do, but I just usually don't bother to add eyelashes because it makes it look super crunchy. That's pure crunch right there. Crunch. We don't like crunch in our art. But if you do want to do them, first of all, I'm proud of you. You're so brave. Secondly, here, let's pretend this is an eyelid. We don't have to pretend anymore because I just made it one. Okay. So, eyelashes don't come out of the whites of your eyes. That's just, ow, first of all. Second of all, how on earth would you grow hair there? They grow from, like, the inner little bit of your eye. But they don't stab it. Unless your eyes are, like, super hooded. So, you just kind of want to, like... You want to press hard at first, and then you want to keep doing that. And as you go around, and as the perspective of them changes, they're gonna kind of do a little weird curvy thing on you. And they're gonna be really spaced out like that. At first. Can you see that? There we go. But, worry not. What I like to do is add like a little double lash. So it looks yummy, juicy, fantastic. That's some good eyelashes to look at, man. Like that. And then you just kind of like add little ones in between. And they don't all go in the same direction. Like I said before, they do a little kind of rotation thing. It's like, imagine you have a ball. And the lines on the ball go like, that's a bad example. The lines on the ball go like, ew, ew, ew. And then they also go, do. It's round. Eyelids are round. They're round and they stick out like that. And they like go like that. And because of that, if you have like stuff sticking off of them, tongue twister, it'll also be like changing with the surface that they're on. Hopefully that makes sense. It's just the form of them that makes them kind of like do a little wavy thing that they do. It's cool. It's a perspective thing. But make sure that you don't just like draw an eye. Oh my god, this is so hard. Hang on. Make sure you don't just like draw an eyelid and then don't do that, please. Unless you want it to look like that, then that's fine. But they have like a little, they like curve. You know, they're like little sprouts, little bean sprouts. Okay. We good? Fantastic. The most intimidating thing that an artist could ever look at, a blank sketchbook page. Yummy, yummy, yummy. You know what we're gonna do? Make it unblink. And I'm going to make it not blank. I'm so bad at transitioning. I'm sorry. I'm gonna show you how to draw eyes equally. Whoa, Ollie, how could you possibly just so easily snap your fingers and cure one of the worst hindrances that all artists have? Well, all artists that make portraits of people, you know. You're gonna do a little boxy move. You're gonna get a little rectangle in there. The rectangle is gonna be the width of your face. It's gonna be like your little side, like the hair next to your ears. It's gonna be measured from those. I'm gonna put a picture in here or something. It's gonna be that. So the distance away from your ear that your eyes are about the same as your hands. A little proportion thing there for you. And then you got your little equator of the face. This runs down the middle of the forehead to the middle of your nose to your cupid's bow on your lip, down to the middle of your chin. This is the part that splits your face in half. This is the guideline that we're going to utilize most because it's symmetry. You gotta make them symmetrical in order to make them look the same, right? Okay. The best thing to keep in mind while drawing both eyes is to keep the bridge of the nose in mind. So, you have 3 dimensions to your nose. You have this middle bridge part, and then you have the little guys that like kind of disperse and then eventually run into your nostrils somewhere down here. But we're not drawing the nose. We're just going to draw some eyes. Keep it nice and easy. So, proportions. The edge of your nostrils, the beginning of your eyes is just a little bit in from there. Cool. Easy peasy. And then, this is where the tear duct is going to go. And remember the diagram thingy that I showed you earlier, the tear duct is the part that connects to your actual eyeball. So we're just going to draw our eyeballs like that. Make sure not to make them too big. Actually, it depends on your eye style, whether you like make them huge or not. But if you're going for more of like a realism kind of thing, like I usually do, then you're going to want to keep them normal sized. About the size of like a quarter compared to like what size their face are. Oh my god. Yeah. You get it. Hopefully. Okay. Now, kids, answer me this. Riddle me this, Batman. What do you think we should do next? Correct, if you even answered. We're going to do the little Play-Doh spheres. We're going to do the little Play-Doh folds. So, we're going to do the neutral expression again to keep it nice and easy on you guys. And we're just going to kind of put that Play-Doh crease in here. And then, from the top of the eyeball, this is where your little crease lines are going to go. Because once again, Play-Doh, it folds. It's malleable, squishy, moves. It's like skin, but it's like the complete opposite of skin. That was a really bad comparison. I'm sorry. Okay. So we're just gonna draw those. If you have trouble with making your eyelids even, I would measure them out with the amount of space that it takes on your finger. So for this, it's about the height of my fingernail. And if you have 2 hands available, which I don't have, you're going to take your other hand and you're going to stick your finger on there and you're going to measure how much of your finger takes up from the top of the eyelid, and then you're going to put it over here, and you're going to mark it at the top, and you're going to do the same thing for the bottom eyelid, and you're going to take this, it's about that far apart, it's about at my cuticle, and I would mark it at my cuticle, where this one is. That makes sense? No? That's okay. Rewatch it and try to wrap your noodle around it. I'm being mean. I'm sorry. Anyway. Okay. Fantastic. If you got this far and your drawing looks pretty similar to mine, I am very proud of you. Good job. Very good job. If it doesn't, that's okay. There isn't a limit on rewatching things on YouTube, I'm pretty sure. You just go back, and if it still doesn't make sense, that's okay. Practice that stuff, man. Practice. Practice, practice, practice. Most important thing in art. It's my first rule for it. Alright, I forgot to make the creases down here. Shablooey. Check if those are equal. Yup. Fantastic. Okay. Now with your pupils. What direction should your pupils go to? The answer is probably going to be the same. How do you get there? Let me tell you about that. So, if your character is looking at something, put like a little reference shape. Here, we'll make it this smiley face. That is the creepiest smiley face I've ever seen in my entire life, but it's okay. We're going to look at the smiley face, and guess what we're going to do? Take a line from the middle, and you're just going to whoop, whoop. Wow, it's like the superhero laser eyes thing. Pretend they have laser eyes for a second. Point the pupil towards that. Doopy doopy doopy. Doopy 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 doopy. Think of pupils as it's like looking through a window, and it's seeing the sun change throughout the time of day that it is. Your eyes can roll. That's kind of what they're supposed to do, so you can look at stuff without seriously harming yourself. These babies, they're gonna roll all around everywhere. If you draw one eye looking at something, take this little part right here, measure that, make a little reference measurement down here, and then you're gonna whoop, boop, 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 boop. See, mine was a little bit off, so I'm gonna fix her right up. Kablooey. Fantastic. And then you got your eyeballs. Good job. Fantastic. You can draw a little pupil. Make sure your pupils are in the middle of your iris. If you don't know how to do that with just the eyelids on and only that part of the iris showing, just draw your little circles on top of your little cute little eyeball friend. Boop, 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 boop. Fantastic. And then draw your eyelid over it. If you don't know where your iris would be, with just the part that the eyelid doesn't cover up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, you can add some little eyelashes if you want. Boop, 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 boop. See, that's why I don't usually do those. And you're good. Great, fantastic. On to the hair. Hello, greetings. Welcome to the second subject of the video. Hair. Hair is going to be a lot shorter than eyes, because eyes are really complicated and hair is just like wisps. Keep that word in mind. Wisp. Okay. How do I start, Ollie? You're going to start by taking a shape. You're going to take a shape and I'm going to go with a circle. Or a kind of circle. Guess what circles are? That's right. They're round. Guess what spheres are? Round. Except in all of the ways. Like I said with the eyelash thing, if you watch that and didn't just skip right to this part, you're gonna rotate as you go along. Spheres, the lines are gonna be bendy. At the equator, they're gonna be the most straight, like right in the middle. And they're gonna be the curviest at your top and bottom. The closer that they are to the top and the bottom, the curvier they are. The closer they are to the equator, which is the middle, the straighter they are. Make sense? Fantastic. Now, hair. Hair has roots. That's going to be our starting point. This is just going to be one strand of hair. Hair is rooted. And guess what hair does? It flops. Hair doesn't float unless it's like super staticky. Then please don't go outside during a thunderstorm or you're going to get killed by lightning. And hair is just a bunch of little dudes. They're all just kind of like clumped together, and they're just hanging out.
What are you doing?
Just hanging around. All right. Bam. That's hair. Whoa, Ollie, slow that down. I gotcha, buddy. Root. This is just one piece of hair. All of the other pieces of hair are going to follow in that same downward direction. Why does the hair stick together? Because it's so tiny. There are so many little things rubbing against each other that they just kind of like cling to each other for dear life. But also, there are some rogues that I like that are called flyaways. You're gonna add those, and you're gonna be like, wow, that's really gross. It looks like something I would pull out of my bathroom drain. If that's what you think about the hair that you just drew, I am very proud of you. You can use this for a reference. Other hair, well, actually just hair in general, it also has different textures. It's swoopy. Whoa, how'd you do that? You make thin, and then you draw a line, and then you bend it. Like that. And it looks like it's folded, and you can shade whichever part you want to be folded. This one is. Kablooey. You want to know how to draw wavy hair? Literally just like make the little, what do you call these? Little hills. Make little hill shapes. And they're just going to kind of outline each other. And they're all still going to go in the same direction. And there are still going to be flyaways, except this time they're wavy. Wow. Curls? No problem. You know what I do for curls? And then you keep doing that, and then you keep doing it, until eventually you have something that looks like this. What you're going to do after that, you're going to add some flyaways. Whoa, crazy. I know. Wonderful. That's my method for drawing hair. If it didn't make sense, please just watch my movements. Like I said before, I'm very, very, very sorry that I'm bad at explaining the things that I do, but I promise if you observe my drawing habits and just like watch them and try to do them along with me, you'll be like, oh, okay, this guy's just talking his ass off. I don't understand what he says, but this is pretty neat. Yep. Thank you so much for watching my little, hopefully helpful rant. Goodbye. I love you all.